All right, so what are we here to do today? And it's time to do a little basic maintenance on our 1997 Toyota Corolla. That's not really what I'm here to talk to you about. Stick around, we're fixing to get into it. All right, so while I start digging into this, start getting this apart, it's getting a new distributor cap and some new plug wires while I can still get quality parts and stuff. Because big conglomerates have taken over parts and parts manufacturing and are in the process of running those companies into the ground, stealing basically all of the assets from the companies, making them as much money as they can off of them and running them into the ground, then leaving them bankrupt, and then making it to where we can't get good quality parts because the manufacturers and suppliers are going away. Do I think it's a bigger part of a scheme to eliminate older vehicles? Possibly. To be honest, I really don't know what to think about that aspect of it. But what troubles me more about what's coming down the pipe is if you're not paying attention to what's coming for 2027. 2026 may be the last new automobile that maybe you should own, because what has been mandated and was put into law was already actually supposed to have taken place in 2026, but they couldn't quite pull it off just yet, so they punted it to 2027. So let me have just a second and I will get my little tablet so I can start reading you some of the things that, if you're not paying attention to, are coming. All right, so as of 2021, our federal government decided that they wanted to pass legislation to have a more AI presence in our vehicles. I'll just read you what it says. By 2027, automotive technology in the U.S. will focus on safety, specifically with the federal mandates requiring AI-driven in-car impairment detection and driver monitoring. What is expected is integration of cabin view cameras, enhanced EV technologies, and other advanced hybrid e-powers. They slipped all that in on us, and it actually was supposed to take place in 2026. They couldn't quite make it happen, so it's supposed to be mandated by 2027. We're already giving up a lot of our freedoms, and we've sat by silently as it has happened. We have just been anesthetized by our phones, which you're probably watching me on right now, and you can say whatever you want, but these devices are capable of listening to us. Now, what's happening with that data, I don't know, but all I know is if I have said something in the room with my phone, it's awful funny the next time I go over and I scroll on Google or scroll on Facebook or scroll on anywhere I go to scroll, there's an ad for whatever I was talking about, whether or not I had looked for it on my phone or not. Just spoke it into the air, and then boom, magically it's in front of my face. Now you tell me that they're not listening to us, okay? Maybe it's AI that's listening to us and they're not actually doing anything other than marketing, and that's bad enough. But what are they doing with all of that information? I digress. You heard me say in the very beginning of how big corporations are buying up these parts manufacturing companies, running them into the ground, gutting the companies, and then filing bankruptcy. So how are we going to be able to get parts to continue to work on our older vehicles like this 97 Toyota Corolla? How? My suggestion is if you have an older vehicle that's a good shape like this one, is that you go ahead and you start putting some of the expendable parts and get them on the shelf and put them in your shop. Distributor caps, coils, wires, plugs, such as that, so that you have it on hand. As of right now, it's not a problem. I was able to get an alternator for this vehicle at a local parts store. I was able to go get a battery, of course. I'm fixing to have to buy tires. I've got axle shafts that I've got for this car to put in it. I was able to order it and have it delivered to the house. For now. How much longer are we going to be able to do that? They're making older cars more and more obsolete. It is harder and harder. It's going to become harder and harder to find parts for these older cars. Now, is 2026 the last year of an automobile that you'll be able to buy that's not actively spying on you? That 2026 Camry I have in my garage, I know has the capability to do it, but are they actually doing it? I don't know. What's coming for 2027 with all this legislation, that's going to be spying on a completely different level. They're going to have mandatory impairment and drowsiness detection. See guys, they put all this stuff in here in the name of safety, okay? But is it really in the name of safety, or is it really in the name of control? Is it really in the name of we want to keep an eye on our people? Is that really what they're doing? Federal law requires that all new vehicles have systems that can scan the driver's face, eyes, and behavior to check for intoxication or fatigue. Okay? These systems can prevent the car from starting if impairment is detected. So, you're in a frantic state, you just got woken that your son needs you, and you go to get in your car and it detects that you're stressed, that you're half awake, and you're trying to get to your child who's for whatever reason needs you somewhere, and the vehicle denies you being able to crank it because it detects that you're still fatigued or you're stressed or really? Okay. They're also going even further than that. Active safety monitoring. The technology uses infrared cameras on the dashboard or steering column to monitor for drunk driving, acting as a kill switch rather than just providing alerts. A kill switch? So how's this supposed to work? Okay, if a vehicle decides and detects that you're tired, so it decides it's going to shut down. Well, it decides it's going to shut down in the middle of a construction zone where there's nowhere to pull over. How's this supposed to work? Somebody, please explain it to me. How is it supposed to work? And this is being done in the name of safety. Anytime you want to see something that's a sham or is going to take away some kind of a freedom of ours, they do it in the name of safety, or they do it in the name of the children, okay? They put all into this bill to where they are trying to get the EV range has to be 300 miles or more, okay? All right, great, la-ti-da. I'm really glad that they're trying to improve the EV range on the batteries that they've got. That would be great. Now, the last part of this I'm going to talk about is the mandatory continuous surveillance has created significant debates regarding data usage and its privacy. And that's where I want to go to on the last part of this. There's even talk that our insurance companies will be able to buy or have access to this data, okay? Land of the free, home of the brave. It's going to be land of the monitored. That's what it's going to be. All right, I don't want to be all gloom and doom, but is 2026 the last year of the automobile that we'll be able to buy, that we don't have to worry about constant surveillance? I don't know. I don't know on what level that the surveillance is supposed to be taking place. That is yet to be seen, and you know, I'm sure there's going to be more coming on this. This stuff's not going away. It's only going to get worse. But we got to wake up. We got to start talking to people. We do not need a lot of this stuff that is coming on our vehicles. We just don't. We need to be able to drive these reliable older cars. There's no reason to have to go into debt when you have a perfectly reliable vehicle. AC blows cold, it gets me back and forth, A to B, no problem, every day. 26 miles one way to work, 26 miles home. Factory AC, 1997 factory AC, never been touched. What's wrong with that? Why can't we build cars that way today? I don't know. I don't know what direction that we've gone in the name of safety and in the name of technology and improving our vehicles. Again, if you've got some of these older vehicles, while you can still get parts for them, and if you want to continue to drive them, you better put some stuff on the shelf. Soft parts, stuff that's going to become harder and harder to get down the road. Okay, hadn't happened yet, but you better wake up. I've actually got some axles that I bought for this car, and ball joints that I've got yet to put in this car. So while I'm getting ready to do all that, why don't you go out and watch another one of my videos? It's going to be coming on the screen right now.